creek where the waters run wide lives a mustache grin and a saltwater guide. Captain Hilton Head's been boating since 7. Prayed to the Lord and got a fish sent from heaven. A 40-pound king flew straight in his boat. On a 20-foot John barely stayed afloat. Now he rides with the wind and he laughs with the tide, with Bonnie Moon shining right by his side. He's certified to go 17 miles out where the mahi roll and the dolphins shout. He ain't breaking rules, no need to bend, just a faithful captain with a line to mend. With James and Amelia and fossils to find, he's got a shark-toothed grin and a peaceful mind, singing Sweet Caroline to the pelican crowd. Captain Hilton Head, you're making us proud. For the sharks, but he's got no fear. Captain Jackson's calling, they're circling near. Fireworks in high school lit up the sky. Now he lights up faces as the boats glide by. Tunes on the deck, yeah, the captain can croon under stars with Bonnie dancing by the moon. Had a moment with God, changed the way he sails. Now his compass is grace and his anchor never fails. He's certified to go 17 miles out where the sea foam sings and the bluefish spout. Not a rule breaker, just a rule-made man with a fishing rod and a higher plan. From shark teeth digs to stories so wide, with his Irish twins grinning by his side, singing Sweet Caroline to the sunset crowd. Captain Hilton Head, you're heaven bound. From fireworks to fossils, from storm to calm, his voice like a hymn and his heart like a song. He'll tell you life's more than the fish you catch. It's the faith in the wind and the memories that match. So here's to the man on the bow of the boat with a mackerel tail and a song in his throat. Certified to roam but anchored in truth. Captain Hilton Head, forever uncouth, but only in spirit, never the law. He's the soul of the sea with a mustache draw. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no. But only in spirit, never the law. He's the soul of the sea with a mustache draw.
Alright, we're back. I don't know what was going on, but I got it though. This is the new hoodie, Jesus is King. Check it out. So now we got the flag wherever we go. I told Drew, I said, you're going to have to give me some more of these. Look at this thing. Yeah. Let's go. I need to figure out this microwave. Hold on. Hold on. I'd love to figure this out, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. That's gotta be a switch or something, but I just checked the panel. Didn't see it. No, I'm not even gonna worry about it. There's gotta be a panel that turns this whole thing on. I'm not gonna mess with it though. I'm just gonna eat my food. Sleep schmeep, man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is called living large right here, man. No fork. Come on, buddy. No fork. Party foul. No salsa either. No, I will not be making breakfast in the morning. Fiesta fresh. It is nice in here. I got some cool stuff though. I'm going to show you guys. For the few in the bold that are going to be tuned in for the late night. I got the king. No, I am not sleeping in the king suite. I'm gonna sleep in the. I'm gonna sleep where the first mate would sleep. Create minimal ruckus. It's a nice bow though. Drew, that's funny. That was funny. I think it's raining. That's the one thing. I wonder if he's got Fleur on the roof. I can't remember if I've seen it or not. The night vision. Guys, I'm going to have to get a... I'm going to have to get one of those posture correctors, man. Just to be on the boat and it's just like boom, boom. I need to go to the chiropractor. I should have done that already, but I'm going to go soon. Oh, yeah. Pulling out at like 5:30 is the goal. $5:30 is the goal. That is gas. The remainder of this I will be saving for tomorrow. I ate a couple of these now. Tag that up. Big day tomorrow. Big day tomorrow. Alright. Here we go. Alright, so these need to be rigged up. I'm gonna rig up a couple king mackerel. I'm gonna rig up some king mackerel rigs. Look at that fresh wire. Ooh. I could actually rig the you're supposed to use copper, but I could rig the ballyhoo with this. That didn't have any copper wire. Oh boy. Making sure that's good. Now this is 58 pound. I'm going lighter than I normally would because the thing is that the problem is that I feel like this time of year the fish get like super sensitive, and I think a lot of other people would agree with me. So you gotta go lighter on everything, and granted you're kind of it's like that question of like, am I gonna get more hits and lose more fish, or am I gonna get less hits and lose less fish? But it's like, which one's gonna be better? I've always, if I had to choose a side, I'd get more hookups and lose more fish, because it's just how much more. What's your capture rate gonna be better on? I think I'd rather just I think I'm gonna go with the more hits. I did forget something. I'm gonna tie up, and I just don't buy the pre-made rigs because I don't trust it. kept saying, oh, it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. It hasn't rained. And you gotta ask yourself that question, you know. What was that? Somebody just texted me or something. Oh yeah, look at that. I can slide some stuff in there. Yeah. That's soft. I just don't want to... Anything that's liable to scratch the table, I'm not going to put on the table, obviously. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, I've tied a lot of king rigs, so got that going for me. These out here. And I think there's, yeah, so I got one backup. What we're gonna do is I'll show you. I'm gonna make a... Can you guys hear me good? Yeah, I do some bare, and most of them with the teaser though. But so this is a pretty sizable treble hook, but obviously we're, you know, it's about the same size as my live bait hook. So the live bait hook I'm using is a 3-aught Gamakatsu live bait. Those things are killer. Now the treble hooks, you got to get some nice treble hooks. I've never heard of this brand, BKK Viper 41. But they look good, and it was the best size they had. I don't like going too big. This is as big as I'll go on the treble hooks. So this, like I said, this wire is super light, but there's a lot of pros to using light wire. And granted, I mean, you know, 60-pound wire is gonna fight like, you know, 150-pound mono if it's fought correctly. So you got your tag end of your wire, okay, and you got to imagine you have a bait fish on there. The live bait hook is gonna go, if this is the fish's mouth here, tail's behind me, the bait hook's gonna sit in the nose of the bait, the live bait hook, and the treble's gonna go in the tail. So you got to think about the size of your baits when you're tying these. Okay, you're gonna tie the treble on first. This will be at the back end, and I'll give you guys a... Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. So you're gonna tie this on. When you tie these and you do the twist, okay, you don't want to, you want to start with a nice loop and slowly get to where you want to be. You don't want to pinch this. You don't want that to pinch, because once it pinches, like you see how they, when they package it, it's pinched. Once it's pinched, it's compromised. So we're gonna do some wide loops to start with, and that all depends on how, you know, you want the bait to swim and everything. The real Axel, to whoever who needs to hear this, Abandoning yourself is much more costly than the discomfort you feel stepping into doing the hard thing. Great way to word it. Never heard it worded that way, but that is awesome. So, and then, so you just do a couple wide wraps, and then this is where it's going to get serious. And the lighter wire is harder to do this with. You're going to slowly twist, and it's hard to see this, but each wrap on this twist is going to stack perfectly. Bang, bang, bang. Okay? And it's harder with the lighter wire. If you're not nearsighted like me, it's almost impossible to see without readers, but I'm nearsighted, so I'm good. But you want it to stack perfect. And the lighter the wire, the harder this is to do because it's harder to see. And then I'll stack it like 7 or 8 times, something like that, you know, whatever. And then, you know, that's all going to change how the, you know, the bait's going to, when this pulls tight, okay, this thing's going to cinch up. And sometimes what happens is this will slide and cinch this too tight. But it gives you a little bit of play. If you get that giant head shake, instead of it snapping, it'll cinch. But you only get so many of those really massive head shakes before this thing gets too tight. Doesn't have the wiggle that you really wanted to have. So anyway, so you'll stack this thing pretty tight. This back one is a lot more important than the live bait hook. Okay, because if this breaks, like if this breaks right here, you're losing the hook. If something goes wrong here, hopefully most times you still have this hook in. But this back one is very important. But I can barely even count the twist, so you need like a magnifying glass sometimes, but this one's fine. You know, it's got 6, 7 wraps or whatever. Trying to keep this in the view for you. Keep forgetting I'm zoomed in. There you go. Alright, so now you'll take these. You want to use the, I like using the crimper cutters on the wire, especially the thicker wire, because the thing is, if you use these regular pliers, you're not going to be able to, I need to grease these up tomorrow, but you're not going to be able to, your braid cutters are not going to work as well. You're going to start chipping away at your braid cutters. But on light wire like this, probably not going to be a problem. So you'll clip this as close as you can. Here's a trick. When you clip this thing, especially on the thicker wire, dude, that little tag will go flying and it can go into your eye. So you try to catch it. Throw that there. Alright, so now we've got our treble hook attached on the back, which is the stinger hook. And you're going to figure how much line you want, how much leader. You know, some people like a short leader like that. I like going longer. I figured if I'm using the wire, I'm going to use the wire. So this will go here. So, you know, a leader like this. Tim, when you going to bed? You just need to, you'll watch the YouTube video, bro. We'll give you a tour. We'll be live tomorrow. We'll be live at the end of the day. I'll get you a whole tour tomorrow. Whole boat tour, live, catch, report, everything. You'll go get a whole tour. If you, well, what time are you going to bed? I can give you a late night tour. So, we're going to go long on the leader, which is, this is pretty long. You'll cut this. Okay, boom, done. And then just be careful. Obviously, I don't want to treble hook anything, so I'm trying to be careful here. So now we're going to sling this live bait hook on. So now where you're going to tie this live bait hook on is going to end up being important. Because if I'm using a Menhaden, then I don't want much. I want it like short, you know. I don't want too long, you know, within my finger span to my thumb. Because that Menhaden's only this big, you know. I don't want this teaser or this stinger all the way back in its tail, you know. And then you also want to think wherever you want it to sit in the bait, you want a little bend right here so that thing can still swim. If it's super tight in the fish, that fish isn't going to be able to swim properly. Alright, I'll give you a tour. We'll go mobile here soon. Hold on. But, so this one we're just going to give it a kind of random distance, because really what we're doing tomorrow is we're trolling and then we're going to go bottom fishing. And while we're bottom fishing, we're probably going to catch some bait fish that I'm going to throw on to some bigger rigs. So we're probably going to catch some big baits. If you're using a big bluefish, then you obviously want this longer. So we're going to try to find like a kind of middle ground here. How about this, Tim? You're going to bed in 15 minutes? How about this? How about this? One easy goal here. There you go. One super chat. Interior tour pronto. Alright, so we're going to tie this up. And now I can make these different sizes, and I can have different king rigs for different size baits. Now with this giant, you know, tag, it makes it a little more challenging to tie this tight, but you still got to tie it. You got to stack everything nice and neatly. See, it's like wrapping around my arm, but that's fine. That's why it's, you know, ideal to have a lot of open space, but we're fine. And like I said, this one, you know, you can wrap it however many times you want, but it doesn't have to be as specific as the tag, because this is still going to be, you know, you're not going to slip past this tag, obviously, or this, you know, twist in the back. All right, one super chat in the next 15 minutes. I'll do an interior tour pronto. All right, so now we got this, and then I'll show you a little something else, a little touch that I do. But nonetheless, now you've got your teaser, okay? These aren't the teasers that I would absolutely, if I had to, only use one for the rest of my life, but these will work just fine. I have some already rigged up to some other stuff that are like my preferred teaser. And what that'll do, that'll sit kind of near like the nose or the snout of your bait fish. And as that bait fish is swimming, this thing's shaking. And it looks like they're chasing little glass minnows or something, or they're feeding on little glass minnows, and it gets the other fish fired up. Now, you got your teaser on. Next, without sending my hooks flying everywhere. Alright, Timbo wants the tour. Pronto. Let me tie the swivel on and then we'll give you the tour. Timbo! Bob man. You're the man, Tim. Alright, so I got these little swivels. You gotta have the swivel for this because I use swivels for these. This thing will twist because it's a little heavier weighted. You know, it's got some weight to it. You got a live bait swimming on the top of the water. It gets a little crazy, so you gotta have a swivel. So all you're gonna do is tie this swivel there. Bang. And now you're just doing another wrap. This wrap is obviously very, very, very important. Alright, and then we're doing the interior tour. Try to get that tag as close as you can. Not gonna be perfect. Flash of bow tensile teasers is my favorite, not the silicone skirt material. Yeah, I got some crazy stuff too. I got feathers and stuff. So there you go. That's your king rig leader here. You'll tie your line on, put your live bait through the nose here, tag this into the, this will be the stinger into the back of the bait. So that way if they only grab half of it, they'll still get this. These hooks are super sharp though. These are okay. These are super, super sharp though. Gosh. And very dangerous to be, you know, working and dealing with. So, alright. Now, what you can do is, and I should have brought my Ziploc bags. I got a bunch of Ziploc bags to start putting lures in, but nonetheless, you'll wrap this like this. You'll just stick this through your loop once because you don't want to get too crazy, and then leave yourself enough to work with, and you'll just sling that around the loop. Now we're rocking and rolling king rig, and if you really want to, you can tuck this guy over and now you're absolutely ready to rock and roll. Alright, let's give you the tour. You've seen the back deck. We'll give you a little interior tour. It's gonna not a whole lot, but it is pretty crazy. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on. Alright, getting the rig mobile. Hold on. Okay. Alright. Boom. Done. Alright. Boom. Done. Alright. There we go. So, I'll take you from the back. Get you the full. The thing is, you can't slide this door unless the handle's down. Alright. So here's the 600s. Okay. Pop screw. Beautiful. Out here. Okay. And now you're in here. You got the kitchen. Got a little stove. You got a little sink here. Make sure the AC's alright. Sounding fine. Got your microwave, storage, blinds go up. Then you've got your little table here. You guys have seen that though. So here is the sky, the whatever that's called, the skylight, the sunroof. And that whole roof recesses out or recesses in, so it's completely open sky. The length is, it's a 2027 48-foot Tiara LE, or it's a 2027 Tiara 48-foot LE with the custom fishing package. So here's your captain's seat here. Give you guys a full tour here. Here's the captain's seat. Okay, you've got your joystick control mixed that is also paired with the bow thruster. Okay, and then you've got the throttles here. Okay, you've got your dual Garmin's with another display for like engines and stuff like that. And then here is the outriggers controller and manual from the helm here. You got your oh, that's what that sound is. It's the radio crackling. Windows slide open. Bang. Full windshield wipers and everything. This is also, so this right here, this seat, let me give you a view here. This seat is where like the mate or the first mate could sit here or whatever, but whoever's sitting here is gonna have their own Garmin that they can look at and control. Then you've got your stereo right there, and then this is all the displays for the battery, generator, etc. I have a way to attach my phone when I go mobile, but yeah. Alright, now I'll take you downstairs. Okay. This is the master bedroom. Alright. Got a little TV there. You got your blinds, so these come up. And then you can see outside the boat, obviously. Okay. I'll show you that, because why not? Let's see here. Hold on. And you got a skylight right there, too. Super quiet. A lot of soundproofing in here. So these go up like that, and then you even have a little hatch you can, well, this actually should be, I think that's, it needs to be, how does that work? Oh yeah, so it's shut. Okay. Yeah, you got a little hatch, but obviously you gotta make sure that thing stays shut. And then you got your little windows there. Okay. Alright, so this is the, and then you got a little closet here. Yada yada. This is the bathroom. Let me close that. Okay. Then you got the bathroom here, master bath. See, this is some of these things that like I'm talking about. Like this door doesn't have like a magnet or anything, so it should. When you open the door, it should have like a little magnet or something, but it doesn't. We could probably get a little stopper or something, but this is the master bath. Okay. All the cabinets open up, etc. Got your little toilet there. And then this is the shower of the master bath. It's a little basic shower head in there. Honestly, the guest showers, I think the guest shower is better set up than the master, but the master has this little bench seat you can sit on. Okay. And then you come into here, there's more lights in here and stuff, but let me see here. Where's the other lights? I think these are the other lights. Yeah, there you go. There we go. You get your lights in here. This is the guest bath. Okay. A little tighter quarters, I guess, for the guest shower. Nothing crazy. Same setup. Little window in there. Would you shut, please? No, of course not. New boat, got a breaker in. So this is my favorite part of the boat. This is the bunk room. So you could technically sleep on here if you wanted to. That's just supposed to be like a little couch. And then you got your little TV here too. Twin beds. Pretty low ceiling, obviously, but you gotta just watch your head in here. Then you got your blinds there, and then you've got some blinds here that'll open up. And then this is your access, sorry. This is your access panel for all the breakers, etc. Keys, ignition, you know, basically mostly just breakers. And then this guy is just a little closet in there. Fire extinguisher. Okay, so come out here, back up, and that completes our grand tour. Let me get this thing set back up here. Hold on. Let me see this. Hold on. I don't know what I did here, but oh gosh, got my cord tangled up a little. All right, there you go. All right, there we go. Boom. 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 Okay, beautiful. Put this back on. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh yeah, no problem, man. No problem. I told you I probably wasn't gonna go to bed till like 1 o'clock. I gotta turn the radio off because this thing is just crackling for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why this guy is crackling like that. So, anywho, this king rig's ready to rock. Boom, and you could catch a lot of different stuff on this thing too. Cobia will hit this. That's the other thing. If you get comfy here, put this guy behind me. There we go. Oh yeah. Now this boat's more than 1.3, man. This boat's over 2 for sure. But yeah, you could catch a lot of different stuff on this thing. You could catch cobia on this, and that's what I was gonna say. Is if you go with the lighter wire, you have a much higher chance of catching a cobia on this. All right, boom, that's done. Okay, let's do another one. Oh gosh. Yo, 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 yo. I don't know why that thing is crackling like that. Okay, door's shut. All right. Make another king rig. Nope, almost. See, I almost messed up. I almost went. Now, what you could do, if you don't want to deal with such a long tag end, is you can tie this on first, the bait hook, but the thing is you really got to make sure you, then you're kind of guessing a lot more guessing involved of like where this treble hook is going to end up, so you can kind of, you know, but you could always trim the tag, you know, it makes it a little easier to work with, so. And like if you do like a longer space between your live bait hook and your treble hook, you could always just cut the treble hook and then shorten it up. But if you don't, you'll never be able to re-lengthen. Like you won't be able to gain, you know, do more. So you could always do that too. So like this one will go a little shorter. Okay, boom, done. See, that's like a little longer than I prefer. I try to get this thing, since this is lighter wire, I'm just gonna go for it with the regular pliers. With the regular, you know, like these, I can get a lot closer. But see, the problem is that's gonna go flying somewhere. And now you have this super tiny piece of wire just hanging out. But yeah, that's pretty good. So see, like now, this isn't sitting the right direction. All I gotta do though is just take this, bend it one more time the way I need it to sit, and now it's good. Now it's facing towards the mouth of the fish that's gonna be on here. teaser. Get a swivel. Folded side to side, yeah, it's true. Sometimes it never wants to break though. What's up, Red Birds? Kenneth, how we doing? Kenneth, do you know you can't sleep before a big trip like this? No, I am gonna get some sleep though. Dude, we haven't even rigged the ballyhoo yet. Come on now. Yeah, you're right. I should have listened to you about the twisting it side to side. You're right. Oh my gosh. Well. That was one of those ones that ended up in no man's land. Yowzers. Godspeed. Bro, didn't you know I won the lottery? Come on, player. There you go. King rig number 2. I'm going to set all these up. Yeah, we're just chilling in some dude's boat. Tying king mackerel rigs. Guy's gonna show up like, yo. And then I'll be like, we going fishing tomorrow? And he'll be like, I'm down. There will be signs. Dude, this is part of the battle. If I get all this set up now, trust me, it'll save me a lot of headache tomorrow. I'll be all right. I've been doing this staying up late getting stuff ready thing for a long time, man. And if you fish hardcore, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I don't even think, I just can't even bend this one sharp enough to get it to break. No, I just spent all day getting set up for this trip tomorrow. No fishing. Oh my gosh. Thanks for stopping in, Brian. Seen you a couple times at least today. Appreciate you. Oh yeah. Yeah, Tiny's king rigs is huge because I guarantee you we'll end up fishing for kings on the way back at like Eagle's Nest or something. Oh yeah, gotcha. You know how it goes. Yeah, I'll probably still be live. I don't know. I am actually hitting the wall, so I know I probably got about an hour worth of stuff that I still definitely need to do. This one will be like super short, which is fine. I kind of wanted a short one. I know, T minus 5 hours. Plus, I gotta wake up at like 4. So, I probably will end it here. Do the ballyhoo. I mean, everything else is like fine. I can do it. And I don't need, I mean, we want to run the ballyhoo, but it's not a necessity. I got a ton of stuff. I'm probably going to get these Rapalas rigged up, ready to go. No, I gotta push through, man. Because I'm just gonna end up doing this tomorrow anyways. Yeah, I think these are gonna be money. Alright, we're tying one more of these, and this one is going to be a little different. This one is going to have their live bait hook and then 2 stingers. So we'll go all the way back for like a really big bait. So we got a couple medium size. We got like 1 large, and then we're going to have 1 extra large. Thank you, gotcha. Appreciate it though. So this one will start on the back. Yeah, go bigger, go home, right? Put a whole Spanish mackerel on this thing. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Don't want to do that. You think the Kodiak flashlight people will send me a new flashlight? I mean, I was plugging their stuff, you know. I really was like pumping it up. I think that'd be funny video if I sent them the clip. Money. That's hilarious. Where in Tennessee are y'all at? That's so funny. Oh yeah, we're gonna do everything we can for Dennis. Trust me, you're gonna get a. You're gonna see something special. Look at this setup, dude. That's no joke right there, dude. That's the Mega. The Mega King rig. These hooks are sharp, man. Yeah, I know where Johnson City is. That's where I hunt up in near Knoxville. I'll be up there in November. Yeah, I'll be up that way in November. Yeah. No, that's not good. Gotta be alert at all times. Alright. I'm crimping this. I'm gonna get some stuff packed up, but we're gonna wrap it up here. I still got a lot of stuff I gotta do. I don't know yet, Brian. I'm not sure. That looks pretty freaking ripper to me. That thing is crazy. Got some crazy rattle too. God bless you, brother. God bless you. That might work, actually. God bless you, Brian. No, not all of it, but I have a slight, upgraded fee for like outfitting, and then obviously for like special stuff like this, yeah, it just depends. It's all per case. Timeless lifestyle. What's up, big dog? All right, I gotta go to bed. Still gonna be like 30 minutes or so before I go to bed because I gotta get some stuff situated. Good night, everybody. I'll roll the outro video. Good night, everybody. Good night, Captain Signature. Salute for you. Roll the outro video. God bless. Godspeed. We'll see you tomorrow one way or another.
Down in Skull Creek where the waters run wide lives a mustache grin and a saltwater guide. Captain Hilton Head's been boating since 7. Prayed to the Lord and got a fish sent from heaven. A 40-pound king flew straight in his boat. On a 20-foot John barely stayed afloat. Now he rides with the wind and he laughs with the tide, with Bonnie Moon shining right by his side. He's certified to go 17 miles out where the mahi roll and the dolphins shout. He ain't breaking rules, no need to bend, just a faithful captain with a line to mend. With James and a million fossils to find, he's got a sharp-toothed grin and a peaceful mind, singing Sweet Caroline to the pelican crowd. Captain Hilton Head, you're making us proud. He hunts for the sharks, but he's got no fear. Captain Jackson's calling, they're circling near. Fireworks in high school lit up the sky. Now he lights up faces as the boats glide by. Tunes on the deck, yeah, the captain can croon under stars with Bonnie dancing by the moon. Had a moment with God, changed the way he sails. Now his compass is grace and his anchor never fails. He's certified to go 17 miles out where the sea foam sings and the bluefish spout. Not a rule breaker, just a rule-made man with a fishing rod and a higher plan. From shark teeth digs to stories so wide, with his Irish twins grinning by his side, singing Sweet Caroline to the sunset crowd. Captain Hilton Head, you're heaven bound. From fireworks to fossils, from storm to calm, his voice like a hymn and his heart like a song. He'll tell you life's more than the fish you catch. It's the faith in the wind and the memories that match. So here's to the man on the bow of the boat with a mackerel tail and a song in his throat. Certified to roam but anchored in truth. Captain Hilton Head forever uncouth, but only in spirit, never the law. the soul of the sea with a mustache draw. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. But only in spirit, never the law. He's the soul of the sea with a mustache draw.